Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And, yeah, it's about time I finished this franchise. But I know there's one more. When it comes to the physical media side of things, I'm finishing it. Because I don't have Disney Plus here, you know, so I can't really. Maybe next year we'll watch it and I'll talk about it, but I don't know. Home Alone 5 or Home Alone The Holiday Heist. So, just to kind of go back through what I think of the previous films in this franchise. I love the first two. They're Christmas classics. I like to watch them every year. Three is okay. It really doesn't fit with the rest of this franchise. It has nothing to do with Christmas. And it even has an outlandish plot about a microchip and a remote controlled car. And so people complained about that. So they said, okay, fourth one, we'll go back to the McAllister family. It sucked. Ass. Because they recast everyone and felt like they didn't even pay attention to the continuity of the franchise. Like at all. So, after that abomination that I hate, we only go up from there, right? Well, kinda. Yeah. So, we have the Baxter family moving into a new house in Maine. From California to Maine. Was Stephen King their real estate agent? No, it's this woman who calls them bastards. I swear, when she comes up to them, it sounds like she says, "Hello, bastards!" I'm not the only one either. I heard it earlier and I'm like, did that sound like she said bastards? No, I'm just hearing things. But the nostalgia critic also pointed it out with a in his review. So I'm not the only one who heard it as bastards. You have little Finn Baxter, played by some kid. His older sister is played by Jodelle Ferlin, who we have talked about before. She was Emily she's the little girl Emily on Smallville, the clone Lana's childhood friend that died, fell off a bridge. Yeah. He's also in Silent Hill. Yes. I know that line, even though I haven't watched the movie because of Fearless. Yeah. Silent Hill. I also know because of Fearless she's in Case 39 as the kid, the psychic kid or whatever. And she's been in other things. Stargate Atlantis. Yeah, so she's in this. And then, I mean, it feels like it was filmed in Canada. There's some Canadian cast members. Like the sister, I think both the parents are Canadian. The friend, the adult friend, the kid plays video games with, was from the Ghost Beach episode of Goosebumps, so Canadian. Yeah. And then we have a cast of actors that you wouldn't think you'd see in a Canadian production. Like the big stars, to get people to, oh, they're in this movie. Yeah. The three people trying to get into the house, Debbie Mazar, Eddie Steeples, Cragman, and Debbie Mazar, you may know her from Batman Forever, or Entourage, or like everything. She's everywhere. Debbie Mazar, Eddie Steeples, Crabman, and Malcolm fucking McDowell. Yes, Malcolm McDowell from Clockwork Orange, or the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. Oh my. He's in this. He's the leader of this group of people trying to break in. They got Malcolm McDowell to be this. Not only that, but the mom's boss is played by Ed Asner. And I don't know if he's acting drunk or if he actually was drunk. Because I don't know. If he's acting drunk, he's pretty good at it. Yeah. So they move in, and right away, I'm already irked because the message they're trying to send. Oh, the main kid Finn, he plays video games. The daughter is obsessed with her phone. seen it way too many times. These kids' programs, TV shows, movies, whatever, work that into the message. Hell, there was a whole episode of Drake and Josh connected, or dedicated, this is what I meant. That's why I confused those. Dedicated to that, the bet, where it was Josh was obsessed with video games and Drake was obsessed with junk food. A combination that I am also obsessed with, but I don't have to have video games. It's something for me to do, you know. But yeah, that's the whole thing. He's addicted to video games. She likes to look at her phone. Yeah. And I think my biggest problem with this movie is the title, Home Alone. Because the main kid is not home alone. Home alone means you are by yourself. But when this stuff goes down, his sister is also there. But she gets locked in a secret room in the basement. I'll get to that in a minute. So he's on his own. So it should be on my own holiday heist. She's still in the house. He's not alone. But no. There's a story about the house being haunted because the guy who owned it croaked, and I think his ghost is haunting the place. Malcolm McDowell wants to break in because of a priceless painting. Or not priceless, but a very rare painting is hidden down there somewhere. I swear he says priceless, but they literally put a price on it at the end of the movie. So, yeah. We're going to talk about that because that's bullshit, what happens here. Yeah, so he hires Eddie Steeples, the crab man. I'm just going to call him the crab man. He hires the crab man to break in because he's a safe cracker. And, look, I understand some movies want to have running jokes. But the running jokes they give these two side characters, the crab man and Debbie Mazar, they suck. Debbie Mazar's running joke is that she's obsessed with her former safe cracker named Steve, who broke up with her. And Crabman's running joke is that when he used to rob banks or break into places, he wore a Ronald Reagan mask. So he keeps bringing that up. At one point towards the end of the film, I was done with this joke. He's like, I should have brought my Ronald Reagan mask. I'm like, you just, oh man. Steve's a pun. Stupid too. Finn meets a boy who lives next door who's obsessed with snow. I emphasize that because I just watched a nostalgic video. He called him a girl. I even looked it up maybe I saw it wrong. His name is Mason. The actor's name is Peter, and as far as I could tell, they're not trans. So it wasn't like they were female then and are male now. For all the information I could find, they've always been a boy. So I looked up early roles, and they were all male characters. So I don't know. Doug just fucked up, I guess. But it does sort of stick out when you watch it. He only says it a couple times, but you know. This kid's obsessed with snow. And it's really, I don't know. The kid is just there doing some of it. Like at one point, Finn's like, I have to go get some stuff to save my family. Okay, cool. Hey, you want to make me snowballs with me? No, I gotta go save my sister. People trying to break in the house. Okay, cool. Really? Yeah. So, Finn is convinced that the house is haunted, and he's even afraid to go into the basement. Now, where have I heard that before? Be afraid to go into the basement. They ripped that from the original. Yeah. So, the parents eventually have enough. They're all supposed to go to this holiday party for their mom's business. Now, they're all supposed to go as a family, the kids too, with the parents, right? But then they get an argument. And they decide, okay, you're not going, you're staying here, but I'm taking away your phone. I'm taking away your video game controller and your phone. And the dad rightfully is like, oh, what about emergencies? Okay, you can only use it for emergencies. Or these writers could have wrote a landline into the movie. People still use landlines, you know. But we gotta, say, hey, they can't call the cops right away, even though they had the cell phone. And there's a large amount of time before they even decide to call the cops. So once the sister's locked in the basement, they're like, okay, you have to call the cops. And they're like, oh, your phone's dead. If you used it to call them earlier in the movie, it wouldn't be deed. Okay? I mean, yeah. There's also this. I gotta talk about this. The mom is doesn't like that he's got his online friend because it could be some creepo. It is revealed to be an adult, but as far as adults playing video games go, it just seems like someone like me or Big LT, where we just started to play video games. We're not weird. I'm weird, but not like that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It would be awkward, I guess, to do that. And the mom is rightfully spooked by this. You should be. And I'm not saying if my son was playing video games and found out it was some 30-year-old man, but there's a kids movie. You're not supposed to think about that. They do some of that later, but yeah. Eventually, Finn realizes that it not ghosts, but someone trying to break into their house. So there's this whole thing. Again, they got to go back to the original where after the parents leave and they're stuck there. By the way, the parents go to this party. They're going to bring the kids to this party. There are no other kids there. It's just couples and adults. It's all adults. No other kids are there. It just doesn't make any sense why there are many kids there. Let them get out of the house. Okay, sure. By the way, where's the neighbor boy's kids? Or the neighbor boy's parents? Yeah. Neighbor boy's parents. So, the mom literally takes the controller with them because she's still holding it while driving. How were we able to do that? Yeah. So, I had to rewind at one point. Because, so he starts doing whatever. I'm eating junk food. I'm jumping on the couch. And this just keeps going. I don't care. I don't care. It's basically the stuff from Home Alone that you have to do. But you also, because the sister is still there, you have to set it up like she doesn't care. So you can keep doing this stuff. So, at one point, he's doing all this stuff, and I heard him crash down the stairs. And then they cut to the parents at the party, and they come back. And then Finn is just hooking up the video game controller to play the video game again. And then the battery dies. And I'm like, wait. But she had the controller. They pointed out that she took it with her. How did he... Apparently I missed when he fell down the stairs. By the way, he'd be dead. Or hurt severely. But no, they played out. It's fine. He found another controller. But the batteries are low and they die. So, no. He does find new ones. One of the batteries fall into the basement. And that's when he asks his sister to come help. When they get down there, they find the secret room inside of the secret room. Inside of the safe thing. But she ends up accidentally locking herself in there because the guy who owned the place that had the bootlegged booze, hooked up a thing that if you grab the booze, the door will lock behind you. What if he accidentally did that? Oh, let me grab a bottle. Oh, shit. Well, we're stuck in here. Booze? Like... I don't know. It's a little convoluted just to get the sister out of the way. Because then he comes back and he thinks that she went to the mall because that's what she said she was going to do. And conveniently, he can't hear her when she yells up through the vent. And when the parents text, the mom texts them to let them know that they're going to be snowed in, not going to come back. They're going to. So there's pizza, the frozen pizza in the freezer. By the way, there's food at that party. And I still, you have to watch this movie. I still don't know what the party was for. But yeah, they can't leave because it's all snowed in. There's a storm and everything. This is when the bad guys start breaking in. And you get the typical, there's something in ice. And they do catch it, but there's, the woman goes through the window and she gets goop all over her. And I do like when Crabman, because earlier they showed that he likes to eat the cookies, and Finn noticed that there were 2 cookies missing. So he eats the cookie, and it's like gross. So you milk, and it's also gross. He turns on the water faucet, and bubbles start going in his face like shaving cream. So you look like Santa Claus. Yeah. And Malcolm McDowell is stuck on another window trying to get in. And I'm like, is really the ice on the reason why you're not going through the front door? Because, like, if you really want to get in, all you gotta do is let those 2 lay on the ground, have Malcolm McDowell stand on him, and then break down the door. Stand on them. Or, find a way to not do the ice. I don't know. Actually, if you get enough momentum, run at it, slide when you hit the ice. You can crack that door wide open, boy. Put enough weight into it. If all 3 of them did that at the same time, with enough speed and force, that door's gonna crack right open. But no, we gotta goofy antics. I'm trying to get in and get no goofy. Your hair's all, and then yeah. When Malcolm McDowell gets in, the boy tries to convince him that there's ghosts in there. He doesn't believe it. The other 2 kind of do, but he doesn't. Eventually, they make their way to the basement. And so when Finn tries to tell Simon, the guy that he's talking to in the game, what's going on, he thinks it's another video game. And when he comes back to talk to him, he's like, I couldn't find whatever game you're playing. He's like, no, it's not a real game. It's not a game. This is really happening. He's like, wait, you're actually home alone, people breaking into your house? You gotta call the cops, man. He goes, no, I have to defend the house. Why don't you call your cops, the parents or something? So then we get I didn't like this part because I understand what they were doing, but it's pointless. It doesn't add to anything. So Simon calls the parents as they're on their way home. And he tries to tell them what's going on, but every single bit of dialogue is making them think. Basically, he says that he is friends with his son, and how do you put it? I think he tries to say there's people breaking into their house, and she's like freaking out, and he's like, you don't do something, your son could be in trouble, or your son could be in danger. He's like, you're threatening my son? The dad's like, what? No, my name is Simon so-and-so, and your daughter's locked in the basement. You kidnapped my daughter? So because he gave his name, she's able to call the cops or something, because the SWAT team fucking shows up, and he's like, huh? By the way, he's so concerned about what's going on, he goes back to playing video games right after that. Well, I did my good deed. No, the SWAT team comes in. They're like, don't move. And he's like, what? No. I was only trying to help. I just play video games. God! And so they pepper spray him, which is not realistic, but, it happens. He then later shows them proof somehow he's hacked into the camera system, because that's what you want from a grown-ass man who was talking to a kid. and shows them that people broken into the house. So finally, the bad guys get back into that room and they find the painting. So the sister threatens to rip it in half, and he says, "A ripped painting can be fixed. The same can't be said for you." I'm like, yeah, but if she rips it, it won't be worth what you're saying it's worth. It won't be priceless anymore because it's ripped. The value will go way down if there's any left. So she's got a point. Eventually, though, thanks to Plan B, well, first of all, they get a hold of the kid and they put him into their car and leave Debbie Mazar out there while the other two go down and break back in. We get another line about the stupid Ronald Reagan mask. Somebody watched Point Break too much. And she gets a call from Steve, but the snowball kid comes in and throws snowballs on her, knocking her down, and then lets Finn out. Then goes down and activates Plan B, where it traps the two in the secret room in the basement vault. With the painting, by the way. And then we cut back outside, and the kid next door, Mason, has turned Debbie Mazar into a snowman. I don't know how they were able to do that. And it's implied she was unconscious the whole time, so I don't know how that works. Then we get like one of the only funny jokes. It's a double funny joke, by the way. SWAT team shows up. Police show up at the house. SWAT team goes in, slips on the ice. And then one of the police officers goes, "Guys, not again." That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Well, yeah, the police take the painting. At first I'm like, wait, it was in their basement. Shouldn't that be theirs? Why are they taking it? They explain it later. And then the other three goons, they get arrested. So it's explained that the painting was a missing painting from the same artist who did The Scream. You know, The Scream. Yeah. And it's worth $85 million. So because of that, they got a finder's fee. A reward. 4 tickets to some resort thing. Yeah, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. They found this thing with $85 million. Give them $85 million. Or half of that. Or a quarter of it. Something. Give them $10,000. I don't know. Just give them something. Well, actually, they got a reward for arresting the 3 thieves. Which, technically, it should only be for the Debbie Mazar and Malcolm McDowell, because Crabman was new to this, but whatever. And so, earlier in the film, when Finn was talking to Simon, he said that he doesn't see his family because he can't afford to go there. So, they give the money to him, $30,000. Yeah. Then we celebrate Christmas. And I was about to put my head through this table. Because the message they were trying to pound in earlier in the movie is that technology is the devil and you should go outside and play, kids. Right? So what did the kids get for Christmas? Finn gets an expansion pack of the video game he was playing. And the daughter gets a tablet. Because that's going to solve things. To the credit, Finn does go outside to play the snowballs with the, let me rephrase that, to throw snowballs around with the neighbor boy. So, yeah, amazing. So, yeah, and we end on the 3 thieves getting their photos taken at the police station and put together as like it's a portrait. Sure. Also, if that painting was supposed to be a missing painting by the guy who painted The Scream, why was Malcolm McDowell saying it was like a family heirloom thing? Was it his family that stole it and passed down generations? Was that what it was? I don't know. I'll give this one a middle of the road. As it stands now, it would go 4 5, 3, 2, and 1 is still the best. Yeah. First two are, it would kind of be neck and neck. They could be flip flopped many times, but yeah. But yeah, so it's not that bad, but I would still rather watch the first two. I'd watch the third one again before I watch these two, but I'm never gonna watch the fourth one again unless I want to show them to my son, which I think he's already seen them. But this was fine for what it was. It's not the worst one. From what I hear about the sixth one, I don't think it's even bad as that one. And that one doesn't seem as bad as the fourth one, so I don't know. But what are your thoughts on Home Alone, the Holiday Heist? Leave a comment below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.